abode from where you never return. So now Krishna starts explaining about that abode and how you reach there and who reach there basically. Okay. Nirmana moha jita sanga dosa.
Nirmanamoha jita sankadosa
Yatma nitya vinivrutta kama.
Adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama
Dvandvair vimukta sukha dukha samagyair
Dvandvair vimukta sukadukka samgair
gachanti amura padamavyayam tat.
Gachanti amauda padamavyam tat
Okay, please chant.
Nirmanamoha jita sankadosa Adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama Dvandvair vimukta sukadukka samgair Gachanti amauda padamavyam tat
Jita sanga dosha, adhyatma nitya, vinivritta kama, dvandvair mukta sukha dukha sadne, gachanti mura padamavyayam tat.
Translation and purport. Those who are free from false prestige, illusion, and false association, who understand the eternal, who are done with the material lust, who are free from dualities of happiness and distress, and who unbewildered know how to surrender unto that supreme person, attain to that eternal kingdom. Purport. The surrendering process is described here very nicely. The first qualification is that one should not be deluded by pride, because the conditioned soul is puffed up, thinking himself the lord of material nature. It is very difficult for him to surrender unto the supreme personality of Godhead. One should know by cultivation of real knowledge that he is not lord of material nature. The supreme personality of Godhead is the Lord. When one is free from delusion caused by pride, he can begin the process of surrender. For one who is always expecting some honor in this material world, it is not possible to surrender to supreme person. Pride is due to illusion, and or although one comes here and stays for brief time, then goes away, he has the foolish notion that he is the lord of the world. He thus makes all things complicated and he is always in trouble. The whole world moves under this impression. People are considering land, this earth, to belong to human society, and they have divided the land under the false impression that they are the proprietors. One has to get out of this false notion that human society is the proprietor of this world. When one is freed from such false notion, he becomes free from all false associations caused by familial, social, and national affections. These faulty associations bind one to the material world. After this stage, one has to develop spiritual knowledge. One has to cultivate knowledge of what is actually his own and what is actually not his own. One has, and when one has an understanding of things as they are, he becomes free from all dual conceptions such as happiness, distress, pleasure, and pain. He becomes full in knowledge. Then it is possible for him to surrender to the supreme personality of Godhead. Okay, so this is the verse which explains the qualification of person who can reach there. Of course, the first qualification is detachment, but after doing the detachment, how this person proceeds to the that abode. So the first is nirman moha. So man is the abhiman. So we say is the pride, or we say prestige, or self, me, mine, that self identification with the self. I am something, and niha means not. So you should be without any man and moha. So first Krishna gives this. Why Krishna gives this first qualification as nirman? Because that is the binding force that keeps us engaged in everything. So when we think I am something, and then everything starts. So that sense of I is required for our survival, of course. But how we use that sense of I and where we use is very important. So Srila Prabhupada gives very clear identification how this pride uh, creates problem in our sadhana, in our bhakti process also. So uh, we aim for doing pure bhakti. That is our goal. So for that we are doing this sadhana, or what we say practice. Okay, so we should not think that I have already become a pure devotee. That's the biggest problem. That once I start chanting or doing some devotional service, I start that I am devotee. Or not ourselves, we should not immediately start others also, that okay, they are doing chanting for 20 years, so they are pure devotees. So we expect so many things from them. That is also wrong. That is also a type of pride that we have when we look down on others. So looking down on others is a problem, because when we keep somebody down, we keep ourselves up. Then we look down. So that is a pride, right? So pride is involved in our sadhana also, in our bhakti also, and it is important to note it, that the pride is involved. That's why Srila Prabhupada explains about that pride in the purport also, the importance of that. Other rules, other qualifications also there, but starting is man or pride. So because of the pride, we do so many things. It's lording it over the material nature. It does not only mean that okay, we think that this land is mine, this house is mine, this car is mine. That is one thing. But the other thing is the subtle thing that happens is my thought is correct, what I think is correct, what I know is the best. I can do something perfectly, or I can tell you what to do, or I can judge you, or I can. Sometimes we do, like if somebody is doing some action by sitting at one place, if that person is also in some other country, still sitting here, we judge that person. Why he has done like this? I know why he has done. This type of mentality is also coming from the pride. So, and why it is coming? Moha, illusion. So we are in illusion. That's why we do all these things. So a simple rule that I have heard from my childhood is, uh, we don't know the situation next person is. So when we pass out a comment or we pass out a judgment, we have to think twice. uh, if I am passing it correctly, or am I supposed to do that? Do I have adhikar or right to do that? Whenever we pass any comments without any real facts, we should think that two times, three times, because once the comment or the thought is passed, it entangles us. So there we see like people not only in office but in devotee circle, or people who are practicing some type of spirituality. They are very critical towards everyone, and they expect so many things. But we have to very lenient. We should understand that nobody is perfect, including myself. First, myself. When we expect something from others, are we doing it? That we have to see first. And when we understand that okay, I am not doing it, then if you are not doing it, then you are not supposed to talk about that. So a preacher is a person who uh, talks but who behaves also same. And if there is some disconnect, of course everybody cannot be perfect 100%, but at least what you speak, if you can do 50% also, that is very high standard. So but at least that person individually, I will know where I am going wrong, what I am doing wrong, what I am saying but I am not doing, or what I am saying but I am doing. So I know that. So at least you can be honest with yourself first. And then you admit that, yeah, my situation is too bad. Like, I think I am very perfect. I am, I can guide everyone, but that itself is a problem. When I think that I am perfect or I know the thing, that itself is a illusion. Because what we know, we don't know what's happening in Hokkaido right now. No, nothing I know. I don't know what's happening in the next house. Right? So how I can say that I know something? You may know some things, you may have studied, you may have gathered some knowledge, but that does not give you qualification to judge others and think that I am the best or I can tell you what is the best. So this type of all sentences, this type of all thoughts, they actually originate from illusion, ignorance of the real situation. So we don't know real situation of others. So better we should not pass any comments, because that is waste of our time and waste of our energy. So always the now latest, if you see the motivational talks or stress relieving techniques, they always tell that you decide or you identify your circle of influence. Uh, so the people who listen to you, who are your friends, who are close to you, who will do what you want to do, and for with whom you have good relationships. For them, you can talk and you can, but people with whom you don't have any relationship, close relationship, or even if you pass any judgment, they are not going to change. You should not waste your time, because that is negativity we build up. So all these techniques that come are coming from illusion, and that is what Krishna is saying, that don't forget, remove the false prestige, and then illusion will go. And when the prestige, your false prestige, ahankar is gone, then you associate with proper people. Uh, don't associate with people who are having the same mentality, because then you catch up that mentality and you do the same thing. So don't do that. Have good proper association, and then uh, you will give up the calm, lust. And then actually you will see everything sukha, dukkha, man, apaman, everything same. And in that position, actually we get the param padam avyayam, we get the eternal shelter or situation. But we need to see the things as they are. Srila Prabhupada says. So Srila Prabhupada gave the title of the Bhagavad Gita also Bhagavad Gita as it is. So there is no misconception or misinterpretation of Bhagavad Gita. Whatever Krishna has spoken, same is translated. No interpretation. So Srila Prabhupada said, I don't interpret. Srila Prabhupada gave the meaning in English and he gave the commentary. The purports are actually the commentaries of different acharyas. He just combined them and put it in English. So that's why it's as it is. So we have to see the things as it is. If somebody is struggling, okay, he's struggling, that's okay. So there are so and actually, like, if you have pride, if I have pride, then actually God gives indications to, so that you understand. If you are in proper consciousness, you will understand that, oh, yesterday I was judging someone, but actually my situation is worse than that person, what I was thinking. So we have to uh, detach from our thoughts and look at the overall perspective, what is going on around us and what situation we are. So instead of spending time on others, what others are doing, what others are thinking, why they are doing, how they are doing, instead of that, if we spend time more on ourselves, that is much fruitful sadhana. So at least by that we can surrender. Because Krishna has said in the last word that you have to detachment, and then you have to just not detach, you have to surrender to that supreme person. So surrender is only possible when we don't have any pride. Srila Prabhupada told very clearly. So if we think that I am totally surrendered, but your behavior is not correct, then there's a problem. There needs correction. The problem is not that something bad. There is some correction is required in our behavior and in our thought process and the way we spend time and the way we waste our time and how we can utilize it. So that is our homework. But Krishna has already agreed that there will be problems and there will be attachments, and you will be do mistakes and you will be behave like a ignorant, stupid person. Krishna already assumed it. That's why he is giving Bhagavad Gita and all this knowledge. So there is no harm in saying that I am stupid. It's okay. Because Krishna said, yeah, there will be people like this and everybody will be like that. So, okay, I am also that, but at least I realize. So, Krishna will give more qualities and explanation about that in the next verses. So, you see them tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So, any questions, any comments, any realizations, anything anybody has which helps everyone to understand this topic? Please share.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, you mentioned that Krishna gives indication if someone is going into wrong direction or something like that. So like, can you like what kind of indication? You can just
Like, see, for example, if I judge someone, okay, on his behavior, okay, that particular person or that particular devotee or that particular entity, he didn't behave properly with in that situation. Okay, so he got angry, or he maybe criticized someone, or he may use a bad word to somebody, and I pass that judgment. Okay, and so if you are really wanted to surrender, if you really want to surrender, then Krishna will give a situation in which we will see how we act. So if we can see that, okay, that person got angry, and after 4 hours, I also got angry in some other situation. Okay, so that is an indication that you are judging that particular person, but you are in the same situation. So you can justify your situation that why I am getting angry. Similarly, the next person can justify his situation, why he is angry. So the way we commented on that person itself is wrong, because we don't know the reality. That's illusion. We don't know why he is angry. Right? So if we pass comments like this, or if we behave like this, then if you are in proper consciousness and proper, at least we have a strong desire that I want to give up ahankar and I want to surrender, then you will notice this situation. Okay, I was laughing at someone 5 days back or whatever for his getting angry, but now I am getting angry. So when you notice that, then you actually laugh that, okay, I judge that person so like in pride. So that type of indications come when we really honestly want to surrender. And for that, we need to be in that consciousness that, okay, if my mistake is there, show me that mistake. So I think this everyone can experience actually.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. You gave the example. Yeah, even I was thinking regarding the consciousness, because many times we are not that conscious. If at all Krishna is giving us indications and all, but we are not that conscious that we are able to understand that indication.
Right. So that is another problem, that we are not in proper consciousness, that we understand why it is happening to me. That's another problem, because we are lost. So that is what is said, nirmana moha, illusion. We are lost in somewhere that we don't even understand that God wants to tell us something. So that is moha, that is illusion.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Okay, anything else? This verse is very poetic. Okay, Hare Krishna. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.